All
right.
Still on the standard, we have agony of teachers rejected at new schools. Matters concerning education there. Several head teachers and principals in parts of Nyanza region who were transferred to new institutions are on the edge after they were rejected by a section of parents and school boards. Remember, this is still in connection with the matters concerning the KBC and the JSS issues. These teachers rejected. What happens then? Agony of principals locked out of schools. That is on the standard. Several head teachers and principals in parts of the Nyanza region who are transferred to new institutions are not sitting pretty after the parents of and the boards of the institutions rejected them. The institutions have been turned into battlegrounds by parents and local residents. The protests mostly revolve around performance in the KCSE examinations, where some of the parents complain about the performance of the particular exam that took place in the last year. Since schools reopened in January, some institutions in particular Homa Bay, Migori and Kisii have turned into battlegrounds as parents block the principals from reporting to their new workplaces. At least 10 schools are still struggling with the school heads narrating the painful ordeals they have had to endure. Will this affect the performance of these particular institutions in the long run? Does it have a ripple effect on the performance of these students? Will it affect the coverage of their curriculum? Time will tell. That is what is in the headlines this morning.
Right, and just bringing you back to the Daily Nation, matters of food security have equally taken shape in this particular daily. One of those main reads there, cheaper food on the way as state allows duty-free imports. This story has been tucked away from page 7 all the way through 9. You can imagine just highlighting the issues of food security in the country, looking at various interventions employed by the state, what they're still mulling over as far as bridging the divide is concerned, looking at importing about 580,000 tons of duty-free food items. You remember that late last year there was that particular conversation of importation of maize, sugarcane, rice as well, and this had elicited quite the concern there from particularly farmers in different areas just doing this kind of farming, because then there was a question, if this was going to be imported, where does it leave farmers? However, manufacturers are opposing this move, arguing that it will lead to unfair competition and loss of market. You have heard the CS Trade. In fact, this is just said yesterday during the EU summit that maybe it's about time we even change the name from Kenya Association of Manufacturers to Kenya Association of Importers because of this imports over time. But it's really quite the divide to think about. And you know, just Regina earlier on did talk about this a bit, and she said that it's one of those questions that she would really want Victor to ask the governor of Bungoma County, given the fact that we'll be crossing over there in a short while. And this is one of those counties where agriculture is the main economic activity. Talk about maize, talk about sugarcane. There was that concern that in the next, is it 2 or 2.5 months, if we don't import this, then we might just be staring again at the shortage of maize in the country. So really, it's quite the divide to try and bridge that and meet that. But we wait to see what the state will do, what different various counties are equally doing as far as this is concerned.